run into a dead end. Putin and his 15,000 soldiers were forced to surrender to Ukrainian soldiers. Update: Russia and Ukraine war. There are no good options for the Russians. Putin lost 15,000 troops when the army was forced to surrender yesterday. Ukraine's counterattacks left the Russian forces unnoticed because they were unable to retreat to safety. One expert insists there is no good option for Russia, as tens of thousands of its troops are stranded in the south without any means of returning to the safe territory. Ed Arnold, a former British Army and NATO officer, told Sky News that Russia urgently needed to move east of the Dnipro River into a Russian stronghold when Ukraine entered Kherson, but such a move, based on the number of troops trapped, would be a real problem. He reported that about 15,000 soldiers were currently stuck on the west side of the river and they were forced to surrender because there was no way to retreat. The problem the Russians have is that when the army has to withdraw under this kind of pressure, they need good commanders to assemble, which they don't have, Arnold said. And the ground also has no natural barrier to re-establish their front lines. So Ukraine is really trying to push and there are no good options for the Russians. They can go back to Kherson and use the safety the city will provide. But in the end, they need to move east of the river. I mean, about 15,000 Russian soldiers are on the west side, and that will be a real problem. It is likely that they will be forced to surrender to the armed forces of Ukraine. Ukraine has carried out a large number of rapid counterattacks over the past 6 weeks, forcing Russian forces to retreat towards the border. 15,000 Russian troops have been cornered and will have to surrender before they can escape. Putin will surely be extremely stalemate and humiliating, when a large number of his troops will suffer a crushing defeat and will have to surrender to the Ukrainian army. This is an outcome that Putin would never have dreamed of.